been race fit, she's been going well, Dave, and a nice 153.8 next to her name will certainly please you immensely.
Yeah, she's certainly not the best horse I've ever trained, Rob, but certainly one of the favourites. You know, I think she's had nearly 150 starts, so for longevity, it feels like she's been in the stable forever. You know, she did a fair bit of racing as a 2-year-old, but I think tonight she ticks over the $100,000 mark, and she never won any big money as a 2 or 3-year-old, so she's done it the hard way going through her grade. So just race to race. I mean, sometimes I've raced her 3 times for the week, and she's the easiest horse to train. She sort of doesn't do a hell of a lot on the track. She works around the roads a lot, and that just seems to suit her. So yeah, she's been a ripper to us, yeah.
There was a bit of action going on in the race, a bit of tempo. Talk us through it from your part as a driver.
We sort of came through from the second row, had a nice sort of sit, 1 out, 3 back. They were all sort of settled, and the leader was sort of got a bit, but they were still running along, and I was sitting back there and waiting for a move, and Duffy ended up making a move, and I thought, should I go before him, should I not? And decided not to, because he's a bit of more of a sit sprint horse, and the speed could really go on here. So he took the risk, stayed back, and I was sort of half regretting it about the 700 when I was stuck behind first nurse, but we sort of eased back and eased into the 3 wide train and pulled out about the 400, and he really let down up the top of the straight and really showed how much speed he's got.
That was a good decision, and obviously in the run at times you have to make a call and back your judgment, don't you?
Yeah, exactly. You got to make those calls, and it turned out the right one, and that made the race really.
He's a good mover. He seems to, you know, I just like him. I think he's going to take a little bit of time though.
Yeah, I think so too. He was really good tonight. He's just sort of maybe a little bit green still, but he's been racing really consistent, and I think what he hasn't been is he hasn't been in front, and sometimes that just switches on some horses, and you know, over a mile at Melton you get a bit of an advantage, but yeah, he boxed on really, really good and finished off super.
Nice pacer?
Yeah, he is, yep.
Yeah, and tonight did a little bit of work early, and as you said, wanted to have a bit of a look around. He seems a bit of a casual type of horse. Is he easy to drive?
Yeah, no, he's easy to drive. He just, yeah, he does look around a bit, and once he sort of got out in front, he got a little bit lazy, but then when he had one up outside of him to race, he switched on again. So no, he was really good, and I reckon he'll win a couple more races, yeah.
Got the job done, Kate?
Yeah, yeah, he's quite a nice little horse. He's only 3, so it's tougher taking on the older horses. And yeah, I expect him to run in, you know, the good races going forward.
What's the background behind his horse? Came across from New Zealand?
He did quite some time ago now. When we first got him, wasn't really happy with him and couldn't get him going that well, so we turned him out and brought him back up, and yeah, he's much better this time, and we've sorted him out, and yeah, he's coming along nicely.
You would have been just sitting back thinking to yourself, well, this is working out nicely.
Yeah, that's just how she likes it, and you know, I like to go with the 44.5 in the 31st quarter. It wasn't an overly strong field on what she's compared to what she's been racing, and I thought, well, she probably gets her chance tonight, and she's a little bit laid back coming off the back, but up the back straight, once we straightened, she just got going, and like I said, that they played straight into her hands, and she was too good.
Yeah, good performance, raced by Peter and Craig Judd and Mark and Tracy to do a terrific job there at Ben Stud, so they'll be rapt that this mare's won a race here in town.
Yeah, definitely. She's quite well bred, so they bought her, you know, as a brood mare as well, and unfortunately, yeah, we've had her a whole racing career, but unfortunately her previous owner passed away quite suddenly, so he sold all his horses, and yeah, Ben Stud bought her there, and she's been racing so well that why not keep her racing? And like I said earlier tonight, you know, if she can lead in any of these races, she loves it in front, and she'd probably just win them. But tonight they played into her hands, and she was able to win from the back as well.
that was a great win. Well done.
Yeah, thank you, Rob. It's super to have him back. You know, I thought it was all super at the end of his last campaign, but then got a bit of bad news that he'd got a couple of injuries, and with he's always had bad feet, Stan said. And I thought, you know, the run had finished, but tonight there's that the old Savannah JJ. I think he's back.
Very much so. It would have been frustrating for you to sort of be sitting outside the region watching him, not being able to drive him, but certainly now that the region has opened up for you to have the opportunity of driving back here at Melton, you would have been excited to know that you're back on board.
Yeah, it was just one of those things. Just like the rest of the regional racing, I missed out on a lot, and he was probably my main one that I was really disappointed that I wasn't able to drive. But when I opened back up, Dad and I were on the way to Terang, and Heath said, "Oh, you know, you might be able to get back on Savannah JJ." 5 minutes later, Stan rang, and you know it was just super to be able to get back on him. And we've had such a good run, and hopefully it hasn't finished. You know, is that tonight's just sort of, it's given me a big buzz to be able to win on him again. It means a lot.
Kima Frenny, have you sat behind a horse faster than Ride High?
No, no, I have not. It's, I mean, yeah, that was just ridiculous. How easy he did that. How good he is, and you know, still sort of untapped. And yeah, that was pretty cool.
Tell me about the lead up. Obviously, we spoke to you earlier tonight. You said you were a bit scared about driving the horse. Do you feel that way right now?
No, not at all. But you know, because he's obviously this good, it's just it makes me a bit emotional because it's just you know, as a junior driver, to get an opportunity to drive a horse like this, and obviously when you get on, you really just don't want to stuff up, and that's what makes me a bit scared, you know. And probably more so now. After that, it's yeah, it's super cool. And I mean, I can't thank Emma and Clayton enough. They have done so much for me, and they've been unreal. And yeah, they're awesome.
26.9 down the back, which was scintillating to watch, and then he just went to another gear, 25.7 last quarter.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, I was just a passenger down the back. He's just such a professional, you know. He just knows when to go, and I couldn't hold him when he slowed down the back, and then when I let him rip, he did that pretty easy.
James Herbertson just having a look around his shoulder. Anything to worry about there, James?
And a little bit late, but he held his line for majority of the straight. It was probably just the last 30 or so.
Geez, a horse that finished last better be the bomb. You'd be pretty disappointed you've run last in the field of 5 when there's probably only about a metre covering. What a great finish.
Yeah, they were coming from all angles. He was just sort of waiting for him a little bit. I think that, you know, he probably should have won by 3/4 of the length, but, you know, he's just waiting for him a little bit. He's a racehorse, and, you know, I probably just went a little bit slow off the back, but, you know, first time driving him, I'm just not 100% sure what he was like, but, you know, hopefully he's got the jockeys.